Hi guys, so meet again. It's time to sketch surd graph. So as you can see here, every time you want to sketch a graph, you need to know the basic shape. So surd function, you know the shape is either going this way or going this way. So first of all, before you draw, for surd and also for ln function, what you need to do is you need to go and identify the domain. So here the domain is going to be, I'm going to focus on the guy in here. So the condition should be x minus 1 greater than equal to 0. I'll get x greater than equal to 1. Once I got the domain, I can go and sketch the graph. Let us do that. So here, I go and stand at 1. I know domain is the value of x where the graph exists. So the graph exists for x greater than 1 this side. I'll follow the shape, stand here, that's it, simple. And now, we can go and state what is the range. Okay, domain I already have, so I can just write domain 1 to infinity. Range is, we are referring to values of y where the graph exists. So, values of y here. So, lowest value is going to be 0. Going on forever to infinity. Okay, now second example. Again, surd function. I need to go and work out the domain. So here, the domain, very simple. I need to make sure 1 minus 2x is always positive or equal to 0, because if negative, it's not going to be defined. I need to be very careful with this. Negative 1, I don't want the negative, so I go and multiply both sides by negative 1, which will give me 2x and 1. Please be very careful, your sign will change now. X is going to be less than or equal to 1 over 2. Done with my domain. Now, since I know the shape, I can go and happily sketch the graph. So I'm at 1 over 2, please be very careful, this side. So I'm going to go and draw the shape like that. And as you can see, you're going to get your y-intercept. Always remember, if you can get the value of y-intercept, be fine. So here, y-intercept when x is equal to 0. So I put 0, I'm going to get surd 1, which is just going to be 1. Easy, right? I believe you can state what is the range since the domain I already have, so I don't need to worry. So domain is negative infinity to 1 over 2. Just copy back this. Range, values of y where the graph exists. So your graph exists here. So that's just going to be 0 infinity. Done with the second one. Another one. Catch in there. Now the third example. This time around, we're going to go and apply the tricks in order to sketch the graph. Meaning to say, I'm not going to go and sketch this straight away. I'm going to use my trick in order to sketch the graph. How do I do that? Well, first, I'm going to go and draw y equal to 2 surd 1 minus x. That's the first graph that I'm going to draw. Next, I'll go and draw y equal to negative 2 surd 1 minus x. So, what is the effect of adding negative to the function that we have already drawn? Negative means you reflect pantul above your x-axis. And then the final graph is going to be y equal to negative 2 surd 1 minus x plus 3. The effect of doing plus 3 is, once I've already drawn this, I'm just going to go and shift it upwards by 3 units. Let us go and see how to do that. So as I mentioned to you, drawing this is not really a big deal. Find the domain. Domain is just 1 minus x greater than or equal to 0. You solve this, you're going to get x less than or equal to 1. So I'm going to go and do 1. My graph is going to be on this side. I'm going to go like that. I can find my y-intercept. My y-intercept x equals 0. So that's going to be 2. So I've already obtained the graph for number 1. Now, I want to go and draw the graph for negative 2 surd 1 minus x. So that is very simple. I'm going to reflect about my x-axis. So when I reflect, this 2 is going to be negative 2. and my graph is going to do something like that. So this is my graph for y equal to negative 2, 1 minus x. Hope you are clear up until there. Now the finishing touch. Okay guys, so already saw, we draw this, reflect about x-axis. Now I want to get the final graph, which is the plus 3. So you already got this graph, so the effect of doing plus 3 on this is just going to shift the graph upward by 3 units. So we can make use of our intercept value, meaning to say negative 2. Now it's going to go up by 3 units, that means I'm going to end up at 1. And then this guy here, which is 0, okay, this guy, okay, as you can see, it's here. So this is negative 2, is going up to 1. And then this is 0, my value of y is 0, so this is also going to go up by 3 units, so I'll be here. So your final graph is going to be this, okay, meaning to say it has been shifted upward by 3 units. So for this function, this is going to be the final graph. So the examiner is only looking at the final graph. So you don't have to show whatever that you have done in between. Okay, so I can just erase that. Just leave this as my final graph. So of course it's nothing complete without your domain and also your range. So your domain we already got in the beginning, which is that. So my range is going to be the lowest value to the highest value of y. So it's going to be like that. So negative infinity up to 3. Hope you learned something there. I'll catch you in the next example for exponential. Bye.